Alright guys, I'm back with some high quality paint.net content. This is actually an incredibly important day because we are preparing and ramping up for the release of my new Minecraft server, mcamerica.us. But because this server is coming out, it begs a very important question. What am I going to be doing? Well, if you're looking right here on the MS Paint, this is a city in the US. I hope you know it. It's in Minecraft, but this is Denver. So I'm making Denver. That's my plan right now. My nation is going to be Colorado. Now, I'm a very different person than back in the day when I used to play EarthMC, you know? I'm a geography YouTuber. I do this for a living in a way right now. So what does that mean? That means I'm going to be putting city planning into my city. I'm going to be making zoning regulations. I'm going to be doing a bunch of stuff all up the wazoo. It's going to be the most well-planned out Minecraft city you've ever seen in a multiplayer area ever in your life. Also, if you want to be in the city, join the Discord and let me know, because you are more than welcome as long as you follow my several rules. If you look at cities across the country, they have usually an ArcGIS hub where they have online GIS hubs where you can see the zoning maps, the parcel maps, the highway maps, literally anything that your heart's desire when it comes to that city. Now, I had the idea for this that obviously I'm not going to be booting it up on GIS, like, let's be real here, guys. But it makes sense for it to be planned out in paint.net. So here's what I'm thinking. So I have my background here. This is the background. This is what we're looking at. These are chunks, so 16 by 16. That's how we're going to be planning out the entire city. So what if I have all of these layers here, and I just make, you know, probably 50 layers. Not 50, it's probably gonna be more like 20 to 30. But if I just have a layer for every single thing, you know, the road layout, and not just the roads, but the freeways, all the inner city streets. Then apart from that, you continue on, we got the zoning map, we got the neighborhood map, we got the priority map of when we're gonna be building everything. You know, we talk about how rich things want it to be, we're talking about specific areas where we want to be in the downtown. Every single one of these things are going to be a layer. And so I'm making it so that you can download this map onto your computer for my town, and it just has every single thing we need. Now, I have some other people who are helping me plan this out, and so it makes sense that I actually have this because it's going to make the planning process really interesting. So right here, I wanted to walk you through a little bit of that, and I'm just going to start up by planning the city, because what I wanted to start by doing is planning out the map for every single one of the roads. So we'll start by making a layer right now, and we'll name that layer freeways. Okay, so we have our freeway map, and we're going to plan that out right now. But then we also have another layer. We're going to name that one city streets, and then we'll have the smaller city streets in there. And so the entire road network will be planned out within those two layers. So we'll start with the freeways here. So the city of Denver in real life, it has I-25, it has I-70, it has I-76 coming in, and then it's got C-470 and E-470. So here's the thing, we're going to be building that beltway. We're going to make it just like in real life. We want this to be as realistic as possible, where it's not going into Golden, which is going to be over here somewhere, and it doesn't go all the way around, but we are going to be designing it relatively similarly to what it looks like in real life. I have to talk to you guys about I-76, but we'll get to that. So here, I'll send you into a time lapse. I'm going to start by making the beltway, and then we will build off of that. Okay, just kidding about the time lapse, but here is the beltway. This is how it's going to be looking for the beltway. And then we have the highways coming in from that. So first of all, the entire city of Denver is going to be within this 32 chunk by 32 chunk square. I don't know if you know the math there, but 32 times 32 is 1,024, I believe. Therefore, that's a lot of chunks. Realistically, it's all we're ever going to really need, unless it's really easy to make chunks and we're at this for a few years, which I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But here, then we have I-70 come in here, come like this, and then it probably has to go up, because it's got to make its way to the downtown, and then it comes through like that, goes down one chunk. But anyways, what I mean by that is that I'm probably not going to, at least not today, I'm not going to plan out where I-70 goes, because I-70 goes out here, and then it probably goes like sideways like that. We know how it goes in real life. I'll put a picture up on screen right here. That's what the interstate layout looks like in Denver, and that's kind of what we're going off of. But then we got to put I-25 in, so we got to figure out where that is, because it has to go kind of right through the downtown. We have to figure out what we're doing with that. Let's put it through right here. But then there's one thing, my buddy Kazzy, man, he decided I needed to go sideways. I want it to be ugly. That's what he said to me. And since I'm a very good owner and I love my people, I'm doing it for him. So it goes like that for just a little bit, and then obviously when it goes there, it's going to continue just like that. Now I-70 going into the mountains. Now this can be slightly adjusted. We don't know. But what it's going to do is it's just going to follow, what is this, Clear Creek, I I believe that's what it's called. Sorry about the environmental impacts, but it's going right over the creek. Like, I'm sorry, guys. There's nothing I can do. So now we switch our color to blue, and now we're going to make these city streets. So now this is where things get specific, and I'll explain what I'm thinking a little bit more here with like this type of thing. So we're on a different layer, and Colfax Avenue goes all the way through. So now this is where our discussion gets interesting, because the I-76 has to go in here somewhere. My thought is that maybe you could almost go like that, where it goes like up kind of sideways. I'm trying to figure out if that's necessary or not. I'm not going to plan that in just yet, because I don't know if I actually fully need it. But we have that, and what else do we have? We have this here. And now I need to design the rest of the road system, which is not the easiest thing ever. Okay, this is what we're going to try and go for. So I'm doing that. So now this is the downtown. So this is where things get a little bit interesting. So this stuff I just want gridded out, because this is going to kind of be the inner city area. And I think the Capitol building is probably going to be here. So I'll leave this undone. So that's where it's going to be gridded out the most, because things get a little more complicated going into the different areas, because this is like these areas I want to be kind of suburban. All right, how about that? How does that look as a road grid? Because I think it looks just fine. Personally, I am a big fan. But now, neighborhoods. Very important layer, neighborhoods. Now, neighborhoods are going to be put down as probably a little bit lower opacity. Okay, we have that. That's where our downtown is going to be. But then you have to think about that Capitol Hill is down here. Cherry Creek is going to be right here. Now, Cherry Creek, my thought with this is that it's going to be very, very, very upscale. But then the other thought with it is that it doesn't necessarily need to all be Cherry Creek, you know? Like this type of thing, that's going to be kind of borderline downtown. It'll get into a bunch of different things. And then there's also the thought of we'd like to make like, you know, some larger buildings. It's not just going to be all these random suburban stuff all over. You know, there's going to be stuff everywhere. So we might need a little bit more room. I don't know that this is all going to be Cherry Creek, but there's a possibility of it. And then this part, the northeast portion of it, this is going to be, until further notice, until I decide that it's too ugly, this is going to be Thornton. Now, I'm not a North Denver guy. I don't know if you guys know me. I'm a Southern Denver boy. Thornton, I guess it's going to be what it is, but I'm not the biggest fan in the world. This one, very excited for it. Golden. Golden's going to be really fun to build. I'm super excited about that. And then up here is Arvada. You got to love Arvada. It's my favorite northern community, I think. Finally, down here, outside the Beltway, Highlands Ranch. The specifics of this are subject to change, but this is where we're going to be making all of the biggest houses in the community. I'm living in Highlands Ranch. I'm sorry, guys. I'm living in the HOA. I know you might hate me for that, but so I'm very excited about this, and I'm going to keep going with this design process probably off camera, but I wanted to let you guys in on what exactly I'm thinking for everything. So if you're interested in either of those things, just join my Discord, talk to me there, ask me questions about it, just @Beaver, and ask whatever question you want. Thank you all very much. I'm super excited for this.